So your bag's backed up against the wall, and the bandwagon's falling right off. And you're hearing all the talk about maybe you should think about what you're gonna do if it don't work out. It ain't about if it makes sense, 'cause if the boot do, it don't fit. As far as I can see, there ain't no way to be somebody.
I'd like to introduce two special guests today. Y'all have seen this fellow a couple of times. This is Mason Hall, my associate attorney. And we have a new legal assistant, Sylvia Gary. And last week was her first week, and she showed back up this week, so we were happy.
Yeah, nowadays you get somebody who's sitting behind you. Well, he's behind you. He was here 30 minutes before you were.
Well, that's not hard to do. This is our best salesman for our gun running tickets. And he owns Columbus Security. He's like, y'all, please welcome our guest. Thank you.
Terry Brown.
Terry Brown. All right.
What's his name?
Anyway, I also left my little information about Georgia in my car, so I'm going to get back to my phone.
All right, well, welcome, Terry. Glad to have you. I've known Terry, knows many of us in this room. I've known Terry for a lot of years. We were in the Corvette Club together way back in the early 2000s. Welcome again, glad to have you. And you have an open invitation to join the Kiwanis Club. You know that, right?
Yeah. So we've been pressing on it.
All right, got a woman. All right, any other guests? Ronnie, welcome back. Good to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we do have Reverend Lynn Meadows' wife is here from the Methodist Children's Home.
Yes, we're going to have a presentation for her in a little bit, but welcome. Glad to have you with us today. So, for several weeks now, I've been giving the club my top 8 reasons to be a Kiwanian.
Of our club, and she's come and spoken to us before, and so we talked about their needs for back to school, and so the board voted to present them with $500 to help with back to school undergarments or whatever they're needing, because they're boys at the Carpenter's Way Ranch, and I'm sure they're constantly outgrowing everything. So, yeah, but it calls them. So just come up here, and come on, Roy, and let's. I already gave her the real check, but let's get in front of our what I got here. Here. You want to come in this? All right, perfect. Thank you. So. Tell us a little bit about what's going on and some ways that you could donate.
Yes. You ready me to roll?
Yeah,
okay. Thank you all for allowing me to be back here. I don't normally dress like this when I speak, but I was told to come in the right gear. So I chose the right gear. I'm at the Methodist Children's Home. If you're not familiar with that, you may know us locally better as the Carpenter's Way Ranch. The Methodist Home has been around a long, long time, 153 years, so we date back to 1872. Our mother campus is in Macon, but many people don't realize that we have 5 campuses around South Georgia. So our main campus is co-ed, been there since, as I said, 1872 on the same piece of property on Pierce Avenue in Macon. But our satellite or regional campuses started in 1994. We're Columbus, Americus, Valdosta, and St. Mary's. And each of those regional campuses has only girls or only boys. So here, we have only boys, and we're known as the Carpenter's Way Ranch. And I'll tell you, we have a little bit of an identity crisis because we've had 4 different names. Started out, we're the Methodist Home. That's the name of our whole agency, our whole ministry. But in 2000, we started in 2002 here in Columbus, and at that time, does anybody know the name of the Methodist Home at that time? It was on Veterans Parkway, across across from where Old Town is now. It was called Our House. Yes, Gil. Yeah. So we've been the Methodist home, we've been Our House. 2007, we moved out to the Carpenter's Way Ranch. Many of you may know Glenn Davis. He established that in the 90s. So we took on the name the Carpenter's Way Ranch. At one time, we had Arabella in Waverly Hall, and some people still ask me about Arabella. So with all those names to choose from, sometimes people say, who are you? And where are you? But we are now in Harris County at the Carpenter's Way Ranch, and we serve boys from about ages 12 to 19, most of whom are foster kids. We do have one young man right now who is not a foster kid.
So everybody in here says their team's gonna go 12-0. Guess what? That's probably not gonna happen. So instead of football fanatics, I call it football rivalries. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Betsy.
It doesn't want to work. Has it been off? Get a little. Thanks for coming again today. We're going to let everybody talk about their teams. I think this represents all the teams that we have people who are fans of here today. And of course, we're going to go alphabetically, so we'll just go in the order that the balloons are. And I'm going to talk for just a minute about University of Alabama. I know you all know that I went to the University of Alabama. And we've got another one because Amy went to the University of Alabama too, and then Art Smith went to law school in Alabama. So we've got 3 now in our club, which is huge because we hardly ever had any. So I'm gonna. I had what I was going to say written down, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to tell you that Kalen DeBoer is back for his 2nd year. And the first year, it was his initiation into the SEC. He was a little dazed and confused. They had some good weeks, they had some bad weeks, and they didn't get into the playoff. But he's shored up. They fired the offensive coordinator. They've got, and I don't remember in my head, but the new offensive coordinator was the 2024 offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. And before that, he was with DeBoer at the Washington Huskies in 2023 when they had their magical season, when they went undefeated and they lost in the CFP championship game to Michigan Wolverines. There's going to be an SEC team in the college football playoff championship game. I don't know who it is, but I'm predicting this year there's going to be one more. Now, Alabama's going to Tallahassee, the 3:30 game on Saturday. They have not seen the Florida State Seminoles since Alabama got put in 2023 to the playoff ahead of the undefeated ACC winning Florida State Seminoles. So there's going to be some heat there in Tallahassee, and let's just hope that they both come out and play their best.
Well, it has been a rough half a decade for Harvard. So I think it's safe to say our coach is on the hot seat. This will be his 3rd year. I've not been very impressed. My patience is running out. So, they said he was a quarterback whisperer too, and you see how that's going. Can't find a quarterback. So we got a transfer from Oklahoma this year. We'll see how it goes. We're hopeful, but personally, I don't think they should have got rid of Malzone until they had a solid replacement. Because even on his losing records, it's been better than all the coaches. since they let him
Isn't he
go.
at Florida State?
He's offensive coordinator somewhere now.
Florida State.
Maybe.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah. So I miss him. They should have kept him until they found a better replacement, but here we are. So we'll see what happens. I think running backs were always pretty competitive. We're pretty competitive everywhere else. We just cannot find a quarterback. We haven't been able to find a quarterback in like 6 years. So that dude from Boise State was a train wreck. So
Didn't y'all buy the top 5 recruiting class in the country?
maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
No,
So,
volleyball.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're due for one, so we'll see.
I had missed a Georgia Auburn game, and I'm 67 years old. So I'm looking forward to us going up there and whopping. I left my paperwork and also my Georgia Bible in the car. It's my media guide, and but basically I think Georgia, they've got the horses that they keep healthy. And our quarterback has been there long enough to know what to do. And we've got, I had all my picks of players that I was gonna tell y'all, but that's in my car. But,
Are we going in order?
Yes, we are.
Well, I'm kind of glad Frank died. Okay. Well, Lynn, I really appreciate you being here because my 2 regulars that are usually
They
here,
ditched you.
they ditched me today. I don't know where they're on. They must be on campus or something. I don't know. Anyway, Georgia Tech, after, let's see, you said 1 decade. After 2 decades at Georgia Tech, it looks like the football program is back in good order. I'm not going to talk about volleyball this year, although they'll be good. The football team is going to be good. So, as well. So it looks like we could. I mean, this is what the pundits say and all that about Tech football. It all, this, how they start out. They got to start on the road this week out in Colorado. We'll see. That'll kind of give a good tell on how the season's going to go. And then they're going to, 2 weeks after that, they're going to play Clemson. By the 3rd game, we'll know whether or not some of these are going to come true or not. Anyway, it looks like Tech could have the ACC Defensive Player of the Year this year. The defensive end, his name is Braden Manley, and he is a man. He is a big guy. They could Coach Key. Man, I love him. He is out of the old-fashioned Georgia Tech spirit, played football there, and he brings it every game. He looks like he ought to be lining up on the field with those players. I believe he could very well be ACC Coach of the Year, if not the whole college Coach of the Year. We'll see. So, the predictions I've seen have been anywhere from 8-4 to 10-2. That's a lot better than the 500 seasons we've had the last 2 seasons, and much better than the seasons we've had for the last 2 decades, since the early 90s. So, there is a prediction that Georgia Tech wins the ACC and goes to the playoffs this year. And that would be if they're 10-2. I mean, they're really good. Because the Dogs come to ATL November 28th on Friday afternoon. And the Dogs are going to tuck their tails and get the hell out of ATL because they're going down this year. They should have gone down last year. Go Jackets!
Any pizza? Any toppings lover is back. Get your dream pizza for just $9.99 online.
Last time I was there, the rest almost ran over the whole
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Okay, I bet everybody's as psyched as I am. This month, August, it's come out, FSU is ranked preseason number 3. Number 3. But enough about women's soccer, let's talk about football. Cling to what you can. So somebody asked me what I thought about last season for FSU, and what I said was the best thing about last season was we did not lose a bowl game. Okay? Because when you're 2-10, you don't go to a bowl. But hope springs eternal. It's going to be interesting. You mentioned Gus Malzahn. He's the offensive coordinator. We have a new quarterback. Came through the portal, Tommy Castellanos. He was at Boston College. He didn't beat us last year. Those of you that have played football before, how many people have played football? I mean, Betsy, I know you did. But, you know,
I used to like tackle.
a couple of months ago, Castellanos ran his mouth about Alabama, gave them what we call bulletin board material, like, what is wrong with you, son? Don't do that. So he's calmed down, but he's really a good player, and I'm excited to see what he can do. He and Malzahn worked together before, so we're hoping he's going to really be, star for us. We're looking a lot better. We've got 8 or 9 starters coming back on both offense and defense. It's a name I want y'all to remember, because from just down the road, Leesburg, Georgia, Lee County, Georgia, there's a kid named Usman Croman. He's a true freshman. And all the reports are this kid is a phenom. He is amazing. I watched a little bit of tape of him, footage. He breaks tackles. He's a big, strong kid. And they're saying that he might be an impact player for us as a true freshman, which is unusual. We've got some great guys on defense. I can't get into all of that. And I will say this. We've got a couple of receivers that we've got really high hopes on that we think are going to make a difference. There's a guy named Deuce Robinson. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
Okay. To be truthful, I don't give a flying rat's behind about any of this, but my husband does. So, as my mama would say. Okay. So, Notre Dame, ranked number 6, has a new quarterback. His name is C.J. Carr. And we have high hopes for this young man. He is a highly talented 4-star recruit and the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr. And he'll be making his debut against Miami on August the 31st. Also, Coach Marcus Freeman, he has a policy where he asks players who see themselves as captains to step forward. It's a self-nominating process there in the Irish territory, and it obviously is working pretty well considering that we beat both Georgia and Texas A&M last year. So, I'll leave you with a joke.
That is cat.
Who can I pick on? I guess I'll pick on Georgia because that's the rivalry in our house. So, Notre Dame fan was in the line at the grocery store. Ahead of him was a Georgia player, fan, whatever. And ahead of him was a little sweet little petite, sweet little old lady. And she had all her groceries up and she was trying to pay. And her grocery bill was $51.74. And she was just horrified, mortified, because all she had on her was a $50 bill. So the Georgia player, who was right behind her, he, of course, what's he gonna do? So he turned and he told the Notre Dame fan, it's not gonna take me long to help her put her groceries down.
Bo Jackson back. Bo never actually graduated from Auburn, so they were going to give him an honorary degree. So at halftime, they did a presentation in front of the entire crowd. They asked Bo Jackson, they said, how much is 2 plus 2? Bo thought about it, he goes, 4. And 80,000 people said, oh no, give him another chance.
think about Army?
She told me to bring stuff about Georgia.
Well, you can say whatever you want, right?
Well, the thing about Alabama, or about Army, is that they lost their quarterback of 3 years, who was one of the leading rushers in the country. And they lost their offensive line that was voted the best offensive line in the country. And so we'll see. It's going to be challenging now because I think all their quarterback to be are under 6 feet tall, so they can't see over the line. It's going to be a challenging year for Army. That's all I can say.
Hope they can run the ball.
Well, they ran it well, their quarterback last year was a primary runner, and he was unbelievable. But he's getting ready to go to Ranger School. He's here forbidding right now.
They're going to run the football.
And go Dogs. Next week, no meeting next week. It is Labor Day weekend, so we'll be off that Tuesday. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day. Be safe if you're traveling. They say it's a pretty big travel weekend, so if you are, be safe. Thank you.